Your third challenge is brought to you by Megan Foltz. In high school, Megan helped start the Winnipeg chapter of the International Aid and Development Organization Oxfam, and was the youngest person to have received that organization's Spirit of Change Award. She's gone on to volunteer with the Women's Education and Action Fund of Manitoba and the Legal Help Centre. She's a founding member of Winnipeg's Young Philanthropists Network, and also served as president of the University of Winnipeg Students Association.
Okay, teams, this challenge is called Vote, or else. The basic principle behind democracy is that people have a choice of who will represent their interests in government. But what happens when people don't vote? In Canada, voter turnout for federal elections stands at about 60%. In Manitoba's last election, turnout was even lower than that, at just over 55%. That's a lot of people not voting, more than 300,000. Some think that the way to ensure that we have full participation in elections is to make voting compulsory. Under this system, people who don't vote would get a fine or have to do community service. Supporters of this approach say when voting is mandatory, it sends a strong message about civic duty. It's the same as having to pay taxes or take part in jury duty. Others argue that making voting mandatory would be against the principles of democracy. They believe that people should have the right to choose whether or not to vote. They also say that low voter turnout serves a purpose. It sends the message to candidates and parties that non-voters think no one on the ballot represents their interests. For this challenge, examine the arguments for and against mandatory voting and whether it would work in Canada. Good luck!